All I gotta say is, goddamn you, Rick Porcello. In my one video I made for the Hot Corner, which this video isn't obviously, I was all about Drew Smyly becoming the fifth man in the rotation and possibly trading away Rick Porcello or throwing him in the in the bullpen. Well, Ricky P has had an outstanding spring, and I've watched his last 3 or 4 spring starts, and I am completely torn between who should be the fifth starter. Both these guys have pretty much matched each other pitch for pitch over their early goings here. Well, actually, spring's just about over, so I can't say early goings anymore. But most of those guys, they've matched each other pretty much well. But there's a few things about Porcello this spring that just make me go, damn it. Maybe he should be the fifth spot starter for the Tigers. And here's why. Drew Smyly has been really good this spring. I gotta admit, I've watched a lot of his starts. His fastball command is good. He's got that good hook. He's got a good change. He can get out both left and right-handers for the most part. And he was good last year when he was in the rotation and he was coming out of the pen. But this year, there's something about Porcello. And one reason why I wasn't that high on Porcello to start when the spring started was because last year, I was an avid supporter of Rick Porcello. I said so many times, was 23 going into last year. You know, he's already been in the league 4 years. He's got to break out of it. He's got to show what he did when he was a rookie. You know, he has too much talent there to be bad this many years in a row. And I was an avid supporter last year that Rick Porcello was going to be his breakout year. His defense was brutal the year before. You know, he looks better. This is going to be it. This is going to be the year Rick Porcello busts out. Well, last year, we don't need to even know how bad he was. He was 10-12, even though wins don't mean anything, but an ERA well over 4. His whip was high. He led the league in hits. You know, it was just not a good year for Porcello. Just a continuity of years prior, and he was getting even worse. Every year it's been worse and worse and worse. You know, and my gripes on Porcello last year still going in that, you know, he didn't have a strikeout pitch. He can't get through the order more than once. You know, his slider isn't that good. His sinker goes flat. He can't get out left-handers. But something about the spring I've saw from Porcello. I gotta say, man, Porcello's fastball command is as good as I've ever saw in a Tigers uniform. He scrapped the slider, which I was really happy about because the slider, you know, was never really a legit strikeout pitch for him. You know, when he throw it into left-handers, it'd get put in the seats. It didn't have that good a depth on it. It flattened out. And I thought it was just too complicated with his repertoire. I just didn't like it that much. Now he's starting to throw this curveball. And just today in his start, even though the game's still currently going on, he's through 4 innings, and he's kind of got hit up this game. He's given up 3 runs, which isn't bad. But he's been snapping off some curveballs that I've saw guys literally backing out of the plate, like knee-buckling curveballs, like really, really good ones. And his strikeout rates have gone up a lot. The spring they have, his strikeout rate has gone up a lot in the spring. And he's yet to walk a single hitter in the spring. And this is such a promising sign from Porcello. You know, like I said, with this guy never having a legit strikeout pitch, and him with his fastball command being as pinpoint accurate as I've ever seen it, this could be a really, really good year for Porcello. You know, he finally fixed the problem of him not having a strikeout pitch with the curve, and it's a damn good curve. His 2-seam fastball and his 4-seam fastball have so much more defined movement from each other. His 4-seam fastball now is just about 94 every single time, as in years prior it was 92, 91, and same with his sinker. You know, his 2-seamer, his sinker was typically about the same miles per hour. Now there's such defiancy between the two. You know, the fastball has a lot more speed on it, which is better because he can fool hitters easier. You know, they think they're getting that 4-seamer, but it's a few miles less per hour than the sinker, and then they're swinging through it. And so much so that his fastball velocity's gone up that Alex Avila's actually told Rick Porcello that he has to tell him when he's throwing a 2-seamer or a 4-seamer because the velocity difference is so much, you know, it was harder for him to catch it. So he had to know. So with that, you know, his fastball velocity's gone up. His command has just been so goddamn good. You know, he hasn't walked anyone. And now with this curveball, it's like, it's making me think, Do you give him another shot in the rotation and not throw him in the bullpen and put Smiley in the bullpen? Because you had Smiley in there. You know, the Tigers need left-handed relievers. I think as of right now, all they got is freaking Phil Koch as one of their main left-handed relievers. And you're going to need some left-handed relievers. And Smiley's a guy that can give you some innings out of that pen. And he can get out both left and right-handed hitters. And, you know, Smiley's a guy that if someone goes down, you know he can start for you. So he's a valuable asset as that, too. It's just, Rick Porcello, it's like, I don't want to get back on this kid's bandwagon. I don't. Because he does this every year. Maybe this year he's just doing it earlier. Where he has a really good stretch of looking outstanding. He does this every year. Like last year he did it for a month or so, I think in May or June. And the year prior he did it in July and in August. He was like, man, is he going to turn the corner? But then he just falls off the table. But this year, in spring, it's like I'm seeing a Porcello I've never saw before with his command, his secondary stuff, his changeup too is looking great. It's like I've never saw this kind of pitching out of Rick Porcello before, and it's like, god damn it, he's pulling me back in, and I'm really contemplating like he should be the fifth man come opening day, just because of what I've saw from him, and it's pissing me off because I know if I bestow my faith back in this kid and he blows up, it's like I'm never going to be able to. I swear to God, I'm going to rally for Porcello. From now on, if I ever talk baseball with anyone, from here on out to opening day, I'm changing my mind. I'm jumping ship off the Drew Smiley train and say put him in the pen and put Rick Porcello in the rotation as a fifth man. But if he blows up again another year, this is going to tremendously hurt his trade value again, and teams are gonna be a lot more weary if they ever do try to trade Porcello. Like say next year they trade him if he has another bad year this year, because he's gonna be 5 straight years of bad years, or 3 or 4 straight years of bad years. I don't remember. Basically, ever since 2009, it's been horrible. So it's going to hurt his trade value too if he has another bad year, and if the Tigers finally do decide cut ties with him if he has a bad year, because maybe it's just not working for him. But I'm really going to go with Porcello this year. I'm gonna take the plunge again and say I'm changing my mind. Porcello should be the fifth man just because his command's been so good. His secondary stuff looks outstanding. I've never saw him pitch like this before. Even at his peaks in the last 2 years when he's had those good months, he just hasn't looked like this. With the fastball velocity up, just how good his sinker's breaking almost every single time. His curveball is just I don't know. So I'm jumping ship, and I think Rick Porcello should be the fifth man in the rotation. So, a couple quick notes about the channel. I'm 2 subscribers away from my 350 sub contest. I've been doing this for like a month and a half. I'm sick of waiting on it. So I'm probably just going to end up doing it anyways, too shy of 350, because I honestly don't give a shit about how many subscribers I have. I was just doing it to be nice to give back to all 348 of you that have subscribed already. And if you've noticed the lack of videos, it's because there isn't really much to talk about. You know, the writers on like Fox Sports Detroit and everything else that they keep talking about is the Rick Porcello saga of him being traded. But obviously that's not happening, and I'm not going to sit here and beat a dead horse about it. So, you know, once the season starts a week from today, I believe it is, in Minnesota, you know, I'll do my first series preview video probably Sunday afternoon. I'll do that. And then we'll get back into our stuff. But other than that, if you want to see what I've been making most of my videos, I got a new channel. It's called Motown Cinema. I've been doing movie Blu-ray stuff because I'm really into that right now. So I'll leave the link down to that. And follow me on Twitter and stuff too, because I'll start going on that a bit more once Tiger Baseball is on consistently. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts on the fifth spot. You know, you still back in Drew Smiley or Rick Porcello? It's like when that stupid Twilight movie came out. It was like Team Edward or Team whatever. So it's like you got Team Porcello and Team Smiley. So let me know what team you're on, guys. Have a good one.